Welcome to Negative Affirmations. I'm Matt, motivational speaker and social media influencer. Well, I'm here to give you a pessimistic thought for your week. I thought I would start off by talking about how my day went last Saturday. It's probably what I should have expected. I was supposed to go to 2 events in the morning, then my wife let me know I needed to move my son from one thing he was doing to another thing later in the afternoon. So that seemed like a pretty doable day. So on Saturday I got up early, got myself all ready, started heading out to that first event. I wasn't too far down the road when the van started making all kinds of noises and stopped giving any power, so I had to turn it around and limp back home. Well, I had to do that first event on Zoom, which was not as good as being there. In order to get to the second thing I needed to go to, I had to take my wife and my son to where they needed to be so I could use my wife's car to get to the second event. Then after that, I drove home thinking I'd be waiting around in the afternoon till I needed to move my son, but then I got a call from him saying that he had gotten a stomach bug while he was at the place he was at and needed to get home. So I had to drive back out to where he was and pick him up and bring him home so he could rest up, and took care of him, and then wait around for when my wife needed a ride back home. That's kind of how the day went. Later in the week, when we'd gotten the van sort of back together, I drove it somewhere and got a flat tire. It's kind of how the day goes sometimes. It reminds me of an illustration that some teachers use, where they take a jar and they'll put it up in front of the class, and they'll take a bunch of large-sized rocks and fill up the jar as much as they can. Then they ask the kids, "Hey, is the jar full?" The kids are like, "Yep, don't think you could fit any more big rocks in there." And the teacher goes and gets some tiny rocks that they have and starts filling it up. And those tiny rocks fill in the holes, the gaps between all of those big rocks. Now is the jar full? Yeah, pretty full. Then the teacher gets some sand and pours that in, and it fills up even more of the spaces. Now is the jar full? Kids aren't quite sure. Probably. And the teacher gets some water, pours that in the jar. So you got the big rocks, the small rocks, the sand, the water. Finally the jar is full. It's kind of an illustration that I like to think of, that the lesson really is there's always more room in your day for chaos. That's really what I'm taking away from it. Always more room for chaos. Well, I hope that inspires you and helps you to just endure your day. Also, don't forget to pick up my new book, hot off the presses. It's called Why Try? Well, thank you very much for watching, and go ahead and post your negative comments below.